I'm Nicole Delger. I'm NicoleDelger.com. Welcome to Indie Chats. I'm here in the Portraits to the People studio in San Francisco, and I'm joined by Lisa Anderson Schaefer of LisaAndersonSchaefer.com. Lisa, you teach a really great class at Makeshift Society called Boundaries for Better Business. I feel like I say Boundaries for Better Business, and I feel like I suddenly have boundaries, which is amazing. So just saying the name of your class is awesome. So tell me more about it.
Well, I came up with the idea for the class after having been in private practice for several years and then coming out of private practice, switching careers and starting doing consulting, and realized that a lot of what I learned when I was going for my psychotherapy training was really valuable in terms of starting your own business. And most of the class, actually, the actionable items in the class are based on things I learned from working in a psychiatric facility, which I know seems totally out of this world. But knowing how to work on a team with people from lots of different backgrounds for a common goal and working with a population that was super acute and was there for a certain period of time really gave me a lot of training in terms of making rules for myself and seeing how those rules could be put into action. So most of the class is based on that experience and really about teaching indie business makers how to create those rules and those boundaries and interact with your customers and your employees with a set of rules that everyone's able to understand.
What do you find really is the biggest thing that resonates with students in the class?
The first thing I say in the class I have up on the board is that boundaries are a courtesy that we extend to each other. And that usually blows everybody's mind. I think, especially for someone like me, creative and a little bit crazy, I tend to think of boundaries as rules and oh my gosh, we want to own our business, we want to make the rules. Part of the reason why we want to work for ourselves is because we don't like rules. But in actuality, and this is one of the things that you really learn when you're working with an acute psychiatric population, is that we need to employ rules for ourselves and with that specific population for them to get healthy and to get better. We need rules. Everything needs to be straightforward and concrete. And when I say that, this is actually something that you're doing for your employees and you're doing for your customers out of a courtesy. I think it really flips the switch for people and engages them to think of boundaries and rules as a positive thing and not as something that they're forcing on their team or they're forcing on their customers.
Yeah, and it's kind of like that famous quote, fences make for good neighbors, is knowing where to put that up. Email etiquette comes up a lot in your class, so I'd love to hear more about that.
Email is one of the things that I get the most questions about in the class. And in the class it's presented as part of the work that I do on separating fact from feeling. And that basically has to do with coming up with a science for your business of rules that you employ over and over again. And it takes time to do this, but one of the really great areas of this is email. And we all get that email that seems like an emergency, or it's actually a really exciting opportunity and we want to get back to right away, or the client...
It always comes at 9 at night.
Yes, exactly.
Right before bed, right when you want to quiet your mind. I'll read this last email. And
exactly.
keep going.
And it gets us excited and worried, or however it moves us. And one of the things I get my clients to do is to come up with a set of rules around email. And it's different for all of us. We all have different levels of stress that we're comfortable with. So for some people it's wait 6 hours before answering an email. For some people it's a day. For some people it's 72 hours. Whatever it is and however it works with your business is fine. But have those rules for yourself that you can then, when it becomes emotional, which it is because it's our business, right? We put so much energy and love and power into it that of course we're going to lose perspective. So we need a list of rules specifically around email for how we're going to respond. The amazing thing about email is that it's one of the best things you can do for your business. You can put your best foot forward every time with email because it has a psychological component to it, which no other kind of communication does, of being able to stop time. You can actually receive a communication, you're not in a conversation, you're not on the phone, you're not caught off guard, you can stop time, be thoughtful, be mindful, represent the branding that you have established, the way that the standard of communication with your clients and your customers, and respond in that manner instead of reacting. And that's what I really try to get my clients to do.
And I love what you said earlier about it being an email is an advertisement for your brand.
Absolutely. And it's free.
Yeah.
It's free. And if you can put forward it's like putting your best foot forward for your business every single time and answering those emails that maybe are worded in a way that you're not comfortable with coming towards you or coming from clients or coming from employees, stopping and saying, I'm going to separate the fact from feeling around this, and I'm going to respond to this in a way that aligns with my brand, aligns with the way I want to represent my company, which for me is friendly, enthusiastic, and humorous. That's how I try to respond. All my email communications meet that criteria. And you really have an opportunity with email for free to change the course of a communication.
To build on that from a communication standpoint is not only the message in that email, but your email signature and your names and your title and how to get back to you and a phone number. I know for me, every time I respond to an email, you see my name and my title and my phone number, and you don't ever have to dig. And I think that's another kind of extension of a courtesy. So email can be wrapped up in so many different layers for your business. And so I love what you highlight about that. We've talked a lot about your PhD, but you also have a line of jewelry. So I'd love to hear more about that and like how you've set up boundaries in that business.
Yeah, it seems like it would be really easy for me because I have all this practice. But I have a separate business, it's Zelma Rose, and I create accessories and jewelry, all handmade. And so I have this different separate life where I'm making and I'm in communication with customers mostly via email and online. I think when it comes to building boundaries in general, the important thing for me to remember and to pass on to my clients is that it takes practice. It's training. And I was thrown in the Shark's Tank working at a psychiatric facility and learning everything I learned there to pass on to my clients, but it really has been years of just practice and skill building. And also knowing that you can stop midway. It's never too late to create a new boundary. You don't have to feel like, oh, I made a mistake and I said yes to that because of this, and this, and now I'm feeling like it's too much. You can always reinstate a boundary at any time. And if it's communicated in a way that is with understanding and framed in a place of opportunity, usually the response is pretty good.
Thank you so much. So for those who are watching who are interested in working with you, where can they find out more?
On my website, lisaandersonschafer.com, you can email me directly. It's lisaandersonschafer@gmail.com.
And then your gorgeous accessories business?
Yes, it's zelmarose.com.
Great. So thank you so much for coming. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks to Sarah Darragon of Portraits to the People for having us in her beautiful studio in San Francisco. If you guys want to comment on today's video, visit NicoleDelger.com. Join the conversation on my blog. I'd love to hear from you, maybe your stories of how you've created boundaries in your business. And until next time.
Hi, I'm Lisa Anderson Schafer of LisaAndersonSchafer.com. I'm a business consultant and communication specialist, and I want you to have really great relationships with your employees and the people you work with. And boundaries is part of that, and learning how to create boundaries takes some practice. It's kind of like running a marathon. The more you train, the better you get, and I'm here to help you do that. Where were you when you had your first kiss? Is that weird?
On the bus, truth or dare.
On the bus. My first kiss was on a bus.
You know.
Just some random guy.
Not like a San Francisco Muni, like a school bus.